Bowling number 91, wearing the cast on his left hand. He broke that hand in practice this Tuesday. Great coverage in the secondary, and when Manning turns around, Bowling's right there to meet him. That is a huge play because now it takes Tennessee and pushes them back into field goal territory at about a 50-yard attempt. So that was a big play and a bigger one coming up right here.
Second sack of the season for Bowling, sophomore from Memphis.
This dime package is causing Manning a little bit of problem.
Only a three-man rush over the middle, nearly intercepted. It was knocked down by Jesse Allen.
On November 15th, the sports story of the year was announced.
And I would like to say that Memphis is my home, but the University of Tennessee is my future.
But on November 14th, News Channel 3 Sports got the inside information first.
Tony's decision isn't one Tiger fans are going to like.
No, Glenn, they won't, because Harris will sign with Tennessee tomorrow.
News Channel 3 Sports. On the court or behind the scenes, the best sports team in the Mid-South. News Channel 3, where local news comes first.
Manning on the phone with David Cutcliffe, the offensive coordinator. Larry Binion trying to hang it high. He punted that almost all the way back to Knoxville.
I mean, that's one of the worst punts I've ever seen. Wow. Either kick it high or kick it in the corner. Don't kick it long and deep down the middle.
So they only gained 12 yards net. They were on the 32-yard line. The ball will come out to the 20. And the fans applaud the play of the Memphis defense. As we said earlier, this is a good defensive unit that's been struggling to overcome the tough spots they've been put in by their offense all year long. It is a Tiger offense that has not played well, and they have a new quarterback. Bernard Oden replaces Kadri Anderson. And Oden's first pass is caught by Chancey Carr. He's banged out by Torrey Noel. Let's get an update on the condition of Kadri Anderson from Artie Gigantino.
On the sidelines here, the Memphis coaches have decided to put Bernard Oden in at quarterback to give this offense a jump start. There is nothing physically wrong with Quandre Anderson. They just want to take him out for a series and give him a chance to calm down. Back up to you, Sean and Mike.
Sparky Woods told us yesterday he would play a couple of series. We just didn't expect it this quickly.
Burst of speed for Andre Woods, but he tripped up. Seemed to have some running room, but stumbled ahead. He's also a reserve. Backs up to Phil O'Reilly at tailback. Woods carrying for just the 13th time this year. So Sparky Woods, the offensive coordinator, going to some reserves to try to spark the attack. Rashad Bailey, the backup fullback, is also in the game. They're number 34. Oden keeps and has a first down. The first down of the football game for the Memphis Tigers. As Oden carried out to the 33-yard line, they'll mark it back at the 32.
Left guard right in here does a great job pulling out in front of the quarterback. Watch what happens. Gets the block on the edge, and that allows him to turn up the field and get the first down.
Tennessee leads 7-0. 2 minutes played in the second quarter. Rashad Bailey carrying for just the second time this season, tackled by Bill Duff. Bailey's a redshirt freshman from Newark, Delaware, the first Memphis football recruit ever from the state of Delaware.
Interesting move going to Oden this early. He's a great athlete. I guess, Sean, both teams have a slash. They both have a backup quarterback that also plays wide receiver.
Copeland for Tennessee, Oden for Memphis. Oden with time, throws it incomplete. Nearly intercepted by Jason Parker, but apparently the ball skipped into him. Running back did a terrific job in picking up the blitz.
Blitz is coming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 step. Now let's see if he throws off his back foot here. Step up. Good job. Just got to throw the football better.
It was Andre Woods in the backfield. He did the nice job protecting Oden as he banged into Billy Ratliff. So it'll be 3rd down and 7 now at the 35 of Memphis. Blitz. swing pass incomplete, intended for Andre Woods.
Change of pace here with Andre Woods, number 22 at tailback. He's 170 pounds, he's got great speed, but he's got to catch the football. The intent there is to try and get a one-on-one with the middle linebacker, Tyrone Hines.
So Rip Shearer turns the punt team on. Third punt for Paramore. Haven't seen any trickery yet on special teams from Memphis. Catch made by Terry Fair at the 35-yard line, a 30-yard punt by Paramore.
You're watching the Tigers and the Volunteers, an exclusive encore presentation from News Channel 3. An unusual twist on the 10 Commandments. Pam Crittenden is Keeping the Faith, tonight at 10 on News Channel 3, where local news comes first.
Back here in Memphis, among those in attendance, Archie Manning, former Ole Miss great, New Orleans Saints All-Pro, the father of Tennessee quarterback Peyton Manning. Brian Darden now in the game. And he gets the handoff and gets driven back by Tony Williams, the man they call T-Bone, in the middle of that defensive front. And he wants to make sure everybody in TV land saw him as he came up waving to the camera.
You know, I watched their game tape last week against Louisville, and everybody talks about Marvin Thomas, but the guy that stood out to me in that game was Tony Williams, T-Bone. Great acceleration off the football. He's only 6'2", and that's why the pro scouts discount him also, but he's really a good football player.
He had 9 unassisted tackles in that game last week against Louisville, a tough loss for Memphis, 13-10. Peyton Manning, 24-3 in his career as the starting quarterback at UT, and he's going deep. And this defense for Memphis is really confusing Manning and the Tennessee offense.
It sure is, and you know what? The corner, Mike McKenzie's done a great job. He comes up, bump and run sometimes, then he drops back off, and you're getting a misread, a miscommunication between Kent and Manning, and that is highly unusual. Give some credit to this Memphis defense.
Manning now only 5 for 10, still stuck on 74 yards. There's David Cutcliffe, the offensive coordinator, nearest the camera. His 15th year on the Tennessee staff.
That's some pretty good quarterbacks in his time.
Draw for Darden, and he's dumped for another loss by Tony Williams.
At 6'2", 282, this guy's got great acceleration off the football. He runs right past a bad block by the center and guard, makes him tackle on Darden in the backfield. He's a big-time player.
Senior from Germantown, Tennessee, Larry Binion, hunting for the 4th time, and that's a surprise. Early in the second quarter, 11 minutes remaining. Tennessee has punted 4 times. Chancey Carr lost the football out of bounds at the 26th-yard line. He was stripped of the ball by Fred White. 48-yard punt by Binion. Return of 3 yards.
You're watching the Tigers and the Volunteers, an exclusive encore presentation from News Channel 3. When news breaks in West Tennessee, Tommy Stafford is on the scene. See it first on News Channel 3, where local news comes first.
Still a long way to go until halftime. 10:49 remaining in the first half. Audrey Anderson back in the game at quarterback for Memphis. Bernard Oden came in for the last possession. Anderson quickly reinserted by Rip Shearer. Deep drop, he's under pressure, and the pass is caught. A nice diving catch made by the tight end, Chris Powers, out at the 31-yard line.
And they had to work awfully hard for a 4-yard gain there. It's a good play, though. Option. Tennessee flows hard to their left, and it's a throwback all the way across the field to the tight end, Chris Powers, who makes an excellent grab inbounds. There's the option fake. Drops back. There's the hit right there. Number 22, Corey Terry.
On 2nd and 5. Back to the ground game go the Tigers. Andre Woods, the ball carrier, junior from Memphis. He was named the Tigers' most improved player after spring practice. He hadn't played very much prior to today.
Now, he's a nice change of pace player. The coaches said yesterday they really wanted to find spots to get him into the football game and get the ball in his hands because he's so explosive.
3rd and 2. Woods, the first down. Out to the 38-yard line. Jason Parker, the free safety, made the tackle. Andre Woods, coming into this game, had carried the ball 12 times this season for a total of 11 yards.
But this is the kind of hole you want to see if you're a 5'7" running back. 3rd and short, good blocking up front. Get in behind your fullback and your tight end, but that's a nice, solid tackle by Jason Parker. But Sean, the key, they finally found a way to move the chains. First down.
Tigers at their own 38, trailing 7-0. Option pitch. And Woods goes out of bounds, pushed out by Raymond Austin.
Good decision making on the option by Anderson, and also a good lead block. This is not a triple option. They predetermine if they're going to give it to a fullback or not. Lead block by the guard, and there's the fullback out in front. That's Rashad Bailey with the great block, the late dish, and that's a good job for a first down play.
Woods remains in the game with Bailey. A couple of second-teamers rising the backfield behind Anderson. He's scrambling away from Hines. And they took a shot in the head from Torrey Noel. The play goes to the 42-yard line, back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Sometimes I question the decision-making of Anderson. I thought he had the fullback in the flat early. He didn't do that. He holds on to the football and watch the hit he takes late right there by Torrey Noel. And Sean, we found out yesterday that Anderson had separated his shoulder earlier this year, or the week of the Southern Miss game, and it really isn't full speed yet.
His left shoulder, non-throwing shoulder, but they're trying to reduce the wear and tear on him by having him run less. He's in trouble and sacked back at the 36-yard line. Second sack for Tennessee. Jonathan Brown with help from Craig King.
Let's package. It's got to be recognized. Your wide receivers have to get off the press. Your fullback has to do a much better job than he does right there. Rashad Bailey does a horrible job on Jonathan Brown. Gives Anderson no chance.
Brown second on the team in sacks with 6. Leonard Little, lost for the year with a knee injury, led the team with 8.5. Fair catches Paramore's foot on the run, then goes out of bounds at the 35-yard line. I think they're going to put the ball down back at the 33. It looked like Fair was making a fair catch signal, and then his momentum took him a couple of steps forward. They do put it back 2 yards to the 33.
Now remember, if you fair catch the football, you're only allowed to run with it. There comes the signal. Now when you catch the football, you're only allowed to run for about 2 yards. 1, 2, 3, okay, he's running out of bounds, no problem.
Jay Graham, the tailback, with Eric Lane in the game at fullback now. Manning, quick pop over the middle, caught by Dustin Moore, and the big tight end rumbles out near midfield, tackled by Mike McKenzie, gain of 16 on the pass play to Moore, who did not start today. The coaches told us during the week they're trying to get his attention a little bit.
He's got all kinds of physical ability. He came in at 230 pounds. He now weighs 260, and he's got sprinter speed, so he's a guy with a great upside.
Handoff goes to Eric Lane, and the senior from East Orange, New Jersey, crossed midfield, tackled after a gain of 6.
Get a look at offensive line, talking about different blocking schemes. That's Jim Marshall trying to show him what's happening up front.
Second and 4. Tennessee leads 7-0 midway through the second quarter. Graham appears to be about a yard short of the first down at the 42. Graham, a team captain, senior from Concord, North Carolina.
And I think Philip Fulmer and his offensive coordinator, David Cutcliffe, have started to settle in on the two-back offense now. If you remember earlier, Manning made a couple bad reads against the dime defensive package. So what they do is go back to the two-back package, and it puts Memphis in normal personnel defensively.
3rd and 1. And again, Manning appears to be changing the play. Graham, not sure if he got there. Looks to be short from our vantage point. Well, good penetration. And again, the Tennessee line continues to have a difficult time with run blocking.
Got to give this Memphis front seven a lot of credit. Good job by Tony Williams. Excellent job by Jesse Allen and Timmy Hart. They faced the challenge of Tennessee again and forced a 4th down punting situation. But if you're Memphis, you have to be careful here. 4th and 1 on the plus side.
Larry Binion does punt, and again it is into the end zone. Well, that's twice he's done that in consecutive punts. This one 42, but only a net of 22.
You're watching the Tigers and the Volunteers, an exclusive encore presentation from News Channel 3. It was one of the biggest ocean disasters in history. See the wonders of the Titanic tonight at 10 on News Channel 3, where local news comes first.
And the starting backfield of Jeremy Scruggs and Thilo Riley back into the game for Memphis. Scruggs, the fullback, through a big hole. He put his head down and came very close to a first down, about a half-yard shy. Corey Noel on the receiving end of that blow delivered by Scruggs.
Number 36, Scruggs, goes in motion, then comes back on the counter, and it's a trap play. They've only run it about 4 or 5 times a game, but it's one of their most effective running plays so far this season. It's a nice little play.
Scruggs was a quarterback in high school here in Memphis at Christian Brothers. He takes the handoff and has the first down. Again, it was Noel who made the stop. And apparently some conversation now between Scruggs and Noel. Noel acting earlier when he put a hit on Anderson. Now Scruggs returning the gesture. Memphis up to 29 yards of total offense. They had only 2 in the first quarter.
But the key there is Tennessee only had 103, and they had 100 in the first quarter, so they've only picked up 3.
Riley knocked down by Hines. Memphis averages only 274 yards of offense per game. That's 103rd among Division 1A teams. As we said earlier, there were only 111. And they're 107th out of 111 in scoring at 12 points per game. Scruggs, the lone back, 3 wide receivers on 2nd and 8. Anderson back near the line of scrimmage, and that's all. Chased out by Jeff Coleman. Coleman and Billy Ratliff battling for the playing time created as a result of the season-ending knee injury to Leonard Little last week at South Carolina. There's Ratliff, redshirt freshman from Magnolia, Mississippi. 3rd down. Memphis 2 of 7. They have 8 yards to pick up this time. Anderson had trouble with the snap and then went down to a knee as he caught it back at the 25. So that's 10 yards off those building offensive numbers.
Ball snapped right to the face mask. It should have been caught by Anderson. It was a full blitz coming, and obviously in college football, once the knee touches the ground, the play is over.
And this has to be very frustrating to Rip Shear. Most of his background as an offensive coach, he's been an assistant in virtually every Division I program in the country. He has a former head coach, Sparky Woods, who was at South Carolina and Appalachian State as his offensive coordinator. Look out. Fair, some great moves in traffic, and he brought it all the way back to the 39-yard line of Memphis. 19-yard return for Terry Fair after a 33-yard punt by Paramore, and Anthony Reddick made the tackle.
Really get to see good hands, and then the shake and bake of Terry Fair, who's second in the country. Watch the cutback right here. Makes two people miss, back across the green, makes another guy miss, and then gets up the field north and south. That's about as good as you can do with that particular return.
Chester Ford back in at fullback. Jay Graham, the tailback. Play action fake. Manning over the middle. First down. Anthony Reddick made the tackle, and Marcus Nash. Gain of 12 to the 27-yard line.
Manning does a great job with the crossing routes. His favorite patterns are Kent and Nash inside. Look at Nash, a big guy at 6'4", 190. Makes the move on Anthony Reddick. And when you watch Tennessee, you've got to be cognizant of the crossing routes, because when they smell man-to-man, they go right to it.
Tennessee leads 7-0. We approach 3 minutes left in the first half.
Great job.
Intercepted by Keith Spann. Spann has only Manning to beat. Keith Spann tripped up by Manning and marked down at the 1-yard line. Great hustle by Peyton Manning to prevent the touchdown.
Spann just kind of laid in the weeds, did a great job on the weak side of that, anticipated the play the entire time. We've seen this a couple of times now. Three-step drop. Look at Spann flash across from his free safety position, anticipated the slant the whole way, and at this point, he's got a couple of blockers. Watch Manning turn his shoulder, turn his head, turn his shoulder. Does a great job cat and mouse. And with as bad as this Memphis offense is, that could be a key tackle by Peyton Manning.
And Tennessee has called timeout. 76 yards on the return by Spann.
You're watching the Tigers and the Volunteers, an exclusive encore presentation from News Channel 3. When news breaks in Arkansas, Anne-Marie Todt is on the scene. See it first on News Channel 3, where local news comes first.
Keith Spann's third interception of the season has Memphis in great position to get the equalizing score. As Mike said just before the commercial break, you rip sure you had to hope he could run it all the way in, because this offense really struggles, but they only need a half yard for the touchdown. They go to Anderson, and he's in. Third rushing touchdown of the season for the quarterback, Padre Anderson. And the upset-minded Tigers are an extra point away from tying the game. Ted Lane adds the extra point. How bad has their offense been this year? That's just his 9th extra point of the season.
Ball's on the half-yard line. This is called wedge blocking. You got to get lower than everybody else's pads. Quarterback gets right in behind, and it's a touchdown. Everybody's just trying to get low. Anderson does a good job anticipating where the hole's going to be. Just gets in the right side of Ken Newton and Timmy Seymour.
So at 2:49 left in the half, Memphis and Tennessee are tied at 7-7.
And I'll tell you one thing, defensive coordinators that have Tennessee left on the schedule will be watching this tape to see exactly what Jim Fletcher, the defensive coordinator from Memphis, has done, because Manning has been confused today.
Jimmy Keith will kick off for Memphis. And Peerless Price is back at the 6-yard line for the Vols.
Memphis stays huddled up like that until the ref gives them the go-ahead. Sometimes they try to confuse what the kickoff return team can do for counting people for man-to-man blocking scheme.
Keith with a short kickoff. And it's returned by Derek Edmonds to the 29-yard line. 9-yard return. The kickoff nearly went out of bounds. So 2:41 left in the half and 1 timeout left for each team. Rip Shearer in his 2nd season as head coach at Memphis. Just watched his team score its 2nd touchdown in 14 quarters, and they only had to go a half yard to do it.
Luckily. 4 wide back to the dime coverage.
And Jay Graham the lone back. And he gets the call on the draw. And is wrapped up at the 32-yard line. Tony Williams at the bottom of the pile, along with Britton Wilkins. Wilkins and Peyton Manning are friends. They met each other at a Fellowship of Christian Athletes retreat. Britton Wilkins is a senior. Another Memphis native playing for his hometown university. On 2nd down and 5. The pass batted and nearly picked off. And Williams had seen the ball. He might have had a chance to catch it. It was deflected by Marquise Bowling.
Bowling with that cast on the left hand does a good job with the outside bull rush. It's the right hand that tips it. And I'll tell you what, you can just see the confidence growing from these Memphis guys and the frustration also for Peyton Manning.
Manning now 7 for 14 for 102 yards. And he has been changing the play frequently at the line of scrimmage. He throws, 1st down. Caught by Joey Kent. Out at the 46, a pickup of 13, and Manning wants to get quickly back to the line of scrimmage with 1:57 left in the half.
Good job being patient that time. They had a weak side zone, and he waited for the curl to clear. That was vintage Manning.
3 catches for Kent. Manning trying to throw it in the flat. Graham collided with Bowling.
Now, if I'm Cutcliffe or Philip Fulmer, I'm looking for some interference here. Watch Bowling, who's going to peel off with the back. He pushes him. The ball's in the air. That's interference. That's interference. David Cutcliffe a little frustrated right now. I don't think he expected to only score 7 points this deep into the first half.
Second and 10. Tigers coming to blitz. It's well picked up. The pass, again, nearly intercepted by Spann. There is a flag. Andy McCullough, the intended receiver. And there was contact near the 45-yard line of Memphis.
Well, I thought McKenzie did a nice job. Remember, McKenzie's a physical guy, 6'1", 190, gets his hands all over McCullough. Well, he's got the left arm draped. And, well,
that's a, yeah.
You can't tell I'm an old defensive back, but I guess that was a...
Even you would have to concede that, yeah, that might have been worthy of the flag.
It looked like they were dancing.
Holding by the defense. That's a 10-yard penalty and an automatic first down.
Landis is the referee. First penalty against Memphis today.
This is where Memphis has to be really careful. They're flying high, they're excited, but Peyton Manning's an old hand at the 2 minutes rule. They've got to stay in here and not make any more mental mistakes.
1:42 left in the half. 7-7 the score. Memphis trying for its first win ever against Tennessee. They're 0-15 all time against the Volunteers. Manning throws high. You can see nervous feet from Peyton Manning as he dropped back into the pocket. He had McCullough open and missed him. Coming up at halftime in college football today, Pat O'Brien and Craig James, all the scores and highlights. That's coming up in 1 minute and 37 seconds. Manning 3 for his last 10. Flag down. Pass caught by Peerless Price. Close to a first down at the 34. It looked like Jay Graham might have moved. prematurely. He did.
He sure did, and that is inexcusable in this kind of situation. You got your senior back. Watch him right here. Thinks it's, there he goes. That's a penalty key situation. You don't expect to see Tennessee being the team to make that kind of mistake late in the first half type ball game.
So instead of a likely first down,